Hey everybody, hope you're doing great and everything is okay with you. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you're going to create a workflow for your digital agency, and then you're going to create an automation on your project management based on that. This workflow that I'm going to tell you about is for how you're going to how your team is going to cooperate with each other in order to get your blog posts published on your CMS or on your website. So the very first step that you got to take, first of all, let me tell you something. In this video, I'm not really going to be focusing on how you're going to create a content calendar, blog post content calendar, but definitely I'm going to share with you what it looks like and what are the things that you need to consider during the time you're creating a content blog post. The very first thing, which is very important, is the two dates that you are going to consider. The very first one is publish date, and the next one is due date. What is the difference between due date and publish date? Of course, it takes several days or several experts and different departments are going to be cooperating with each other in order to create everything and get everything done and make the blog post ready. For example, the marketing team, the search engine optimization specialists, or the department of SEO, graphic designers, these type of, or even content writers are going to be working with each other in order to create uh, the blog post and make it ready. So we have due date for that. All these team members are going to collaborate with each other and cooperate with each other in order to make the first material ready. And then you got several days or a few days based on your policy, based on your marketing strategy. You're going to publish that in within a few days. So you're going to make it ready, for example, on 29th, and then you're going to publish that a few days later. In a content calendar, of course, we need an author right now. Nothing is obvious in here. And then you're going to be working on the topics. First of all, let me tell you something. Before you carry these topics, you need to do a keyword research. And of course, your search engine optimization specialists, they're going to be working on keyword analysis and keyword research. And based on that, your content strategies or your marketing expert, they are going to be working on to carry the topics and titles of your blog post. For each one of the topics, of course, there are content details, what you're going to include in your content. And then beforehand, again, based on market analysis, you have already created a target persona. And based on the target persona, you're going to have a target persona for each one of the individual blog posts. Then at the end of each blog post, of course, you're going to have a CTA that your marketing team should decide on that. And then, of course, you got some content writers. Content writers are going to prepare the content, and then they are going to put their links over here. And then each one of them, each one of the blog posts, they would have objectives. And then there are some people that they're going to approve different editors like language editors or technical editors, or finally at the end of the story, your marketing manager or somebody who's responsible for this are going to approve it. Then finally at the end of the story, after a while, you're going to check the KPIs and metrics. So this is the general idea of what a content calendar would look like and how you're going to create each one of them based on different columns in this one. So let's move on to the next sheet. When it comes to talking about creating a blog post, of course, there are different departments and different people and different experts that are dealing with these type of things. The first one is marketing manager. For example, marketing managers that are going to be cooperating with SEO masters or SEO specialists in order to carry out the content calendar. For example, for market research and for keyword research that are going to be cooperating with each other. Of course, there are some content writers that they're going to write the contents, And then you need some graphic designers in order to go for the featured photo or infographics or any types of photos or images that you're going to put inside your blog post. And this is very important in order to make sure that content writers, they have already curated contents based on factual information, educational information. For example, imagine the content writers, they are not very expert in your field. For example, your field, your niche is about digital marketing. Then you need somebody in order to go through the content that the content writers have already curated and then make sure that there is no bad data or mistakes or anything like this. And then the next step or the next thing that you really need is to make sure that your blog post has been written in a proper way with proper language. It is accurate. There is no misspelling or there are no wrong things based on language. And of course, definitely at the end of the story, you're going to check if everything is based on your language and tone and everything, and the content has already been uh, followed based on your guidelines and the stuff. And then finally, at the end of the story, you would have somebody in order to get them publish and upload your feature, your photos, your content, and all other things as well. So these are the people that you're going to be dealing with, and these people are going to cooperate with each other in order to create the blog posts and then get them published on your CMS, WordPress, or I don't know, whatever CMS that you're using. Of course, there are different tasks that they're going to deal with. Here, there is a list of them. For example, curate a brief for the content writers. Definitely, this is something that your marketing manager or marketing team are going to prepare guidelines that they a brief an onboarding guideline for the content writers in order to write based in that. And the next one is writing brief for graphic designers. Of course, you're going to use some photos, some images uh, between the lines of your blog post. Then you're going to carry the brief based in that, what type of things, what type of photos, images you need. And then the graphic designers are going to carry those type of images, and then content is going to be written by the writers, and then you're going to carry the images. Then you're going to have technical editing and then language editing. So finally, at the end of the story, your marketing team needs to verify and modify the images. Then you need to check for the SEO guidelines and write metadata like meta description, meta title, and the stuff related to that. And then you're going to have the blog post published on your CMS. And then finally, the most important thing, based on a lot of, by all accounts, I can say distribution, reposting, resharing, commenting, and stuff related to that. So these are the steps and these are the tasks that you need to take in order to make and create and publish a blog post. But we are going to have a great look at what is going on exactly. This is a PBM man, or it is better to say the workflow and the process flow that we are going to use this later in our project management tool. The very first step and the very first thing, of course, your marketing team is going to carry the content strategy. They're going to carry different things and the guidelines before that. And then after that, based on that, your search engine optimization team are going to have to do it. They're going to have a keyword research based on what you have already, what your marketing team has already prepared. The next step would be identify target keywords. Search engine optimization, especially, they're going to give them the raw material like keywords with their difficulty, with their search volume based on monthly, I don't know, volume and stuff. And then your marketing team will decide on which one of them they're going to use. And then again, they're going to have some meetings with each other in order to make sure that which one of the keywords they're going to consider for their main keywords. But if there is no website, of course, if you're going to get started, this is very important in order to have a strategy based on long tail keywords because they are much easier, and then after you get some rankings based in them, later you can target for more difficult keywords. By the way, identify target keywords, and then based in that, your content team, they are going to carry it blog post topics. As you could see, for example, in here, you can see, there are keywords, there are details, there are stuff like this, and then our content team, they decide in order to carry the topics. Then your content team is going to carry the topics, and then based on that again, this will be referred back to your marketing team. Your marketing team in this stage will carry a content calendar. This is the content calendar that we had an insight of what it looks like, and then when the calendar is ready, we're going to make sure that we are targeting the proper, for example, in here we have a topic, and then here for this topic, we're going to target those type of keywords. And then your search engine optimization specialist, they're going to add keywords for each topic. And there is a concept in search engine optimization, we call it LSI. Then we're going to make the keyword related keywords that we're going to make the crawlers understand what the topic is and what the blog post in general is about. And then they're going to decide on primary keywords and secondary keywords. And then your marketing team will create brief and guidelines for each topic for the writers. What are the points that they need to consider? What are the things that they need to write about? And then of course, one by one, based on the topics, we're going to get the content team in order to write our contents based on that. So they're going to write it. The next step is your editor. The editors, as I mentioned earlier, we have two different types of editing. The first one is based on checking the knowledge, the technical checking and editing. If we want to make sure that the information provided by the content writer is accurate and there's nothing wrong with that, so we're going to have some editors, and that makes a difference. I've separated this. Maybe, for example, one person from your marketing team will be responsible for this. Then the editor will have an opportunity in order to check for the language. Of course, I don't know, maybe again from your marketing team or somebody else in your team would be responsible for checking the grammatical mistakes, spelling, and in general, I can say that they would be checking for the language of the content. Then again, your marketing team will check everything and make sure that they're edited properly and everything is okay with the content. Then we will go for optimizing the content based on link building, on-page SEO, and a lot of other things that your search engine optimization specialists or experts are going to be dealing with. Of course, so one of the things that your marketing team needs to consider is the images will be checked. Sorry, I think I've already missed something. Yeah, in here, something between. While your marketing team has already carried a brief for your content writing team, at the same time, they need to carry guidelines and briefs for your graphic designers. And graphic designers are going to carry those type of featured photos or any infographics that it's needed for your blog post. Then again, the images will be checked by your marketing team for, I don't know, for themes of to make sure that everything is based on your brand kit, on your branding theme, and visual identity has already been taken into consideration during the time they were creating the graphic and the images. So now we have already created the images and the content is ready. So what we got to do, we are going to send all of them, the content and the images, for the search engine optimization experts. They're going to add and optimize images. For example, imagine we need WebP format for the images, and then alt text, or even the name of the file is so important in order to rank for your and the SERP. It's important in order to consider these type of things. Then your search engine optimization expert are going to consider those type of things. And then what we have in here is that we have the content, we have the images, we have the metadata, and everything is ready. And then we will give everything to our webmaster or somebody who is responsible for publishing the blog post, uploading different things on our CMS. Then this guy is going to upload the content, images, and the stuff related to that. And then we're going to publish the blog post. But still, there is another more step that your marketing team in here, your marketing team is going to take another step, which is distributing the content and resharing, reposting, making it viral, or leaving comments in that. So there are different strategies based on your marketing strategy. By the way, this is the workflow how you're going to get your blog posts published on your CMS. And then finally, then if you got a project management tool or software or anything like Jira, ClickUp, or anything, then you are going to create an automation, because this is going to be a little bit tricky if you haven't got the workflow. If you don't set the workflow automation on your Jira, for example, imagine you're using Jira for this purpose. You need to create this workflow automation based on this process. Let me tell you something. Maybe based on your organization, some of these type of departments, you don't have them. Then, for example, imagine if you don't have editor, then your marketing team will be responsible for these type of editorial stuff. Or, for example, your graphic designers, maybe you don't have external resources. Then your marketing team again, they're going to do it. It doesn't matter. Just that was an example in order to see what is the workflow and what is the process flow for making an optimized version and process flow for your blog, from writing blog posts to publishing it on your CMS. Thank you so much for your attention.